So we have our content down. I got a story. I got a resume. I got a cover letter. But now, who am I sending this stuff to? And so this one we're going to talk about job hunting strategies and how about going about doing that to find opportunity. Who am I going to target? That's what this is all about. Who am I going to go after? There are different approaches. Career fairs are a good way to meet people. Online, Career Builder, Monster, those are where all the ads are. And there are a lot of different sites. Corporate sites, if you want to target a specific company, these are really good actually if you're looking for summer internships because they classify their jobs specifically for summer interns. Big companies are always looking for people. This works for entry level, for higher level, not so much. Network. Talk to people. We'll talk about how do you build one of those networks. The thing is, you've got the greatest resource on the planet, and it's called LinkedIn. I mean, you could pretty much find anybody. Figure out influencers. Figure out people who have a lot of pull and say. If they like you, they'll help you. And startups. If worse comes to worse, go volunteer at a startup. Because at least on your resume, you could write you had some kind of industrial experience, even though it doesn't feel like a real company. Common career paths that people with business degrees take is you can go into QA. QA is about making sure things are in compliance. Project program managers, you have to have tech skills to a certain degree, but you can grow into that position. I've seen lots of people become project managers who actually have no background whatsoever in technology. Sales and marketing. This is the age of modern marketing. If you know something about CRM and digital marketing, you have a huge leap over the people who are there. Product managers are actually mini CEOs. They have their own franchises to take care of. They're responsible for profit and loss. And a lot of students want to go this path. Because if you're successful at project management, then that's basically the ladder leading towards the CEO suite. Now, jobs like I want to be in mergers and acquisitions, or I want to be in strategy. Nobody gets those jobs right out of. Those are senior level jobs. You have to work your way up to get that kind of work. Here are common types of jobs. What do you do in sales? You could be doing anything from cold calls to doing things digital, customer service. A lot of students end up going into to start. Now, just because you say I'm in a crappy position, this is what I mean about a career plan. Okay, I'm going to do this job first, but here's my plan to get out. And so it's just a stepping stone. Don't think about it. It's the end of your career. Business development is about finding opportunity and executing, and the rest of this you could pretty much read on your own. It's pretty self-explanatory. And to go with that, here are titles. Finance and accounting, for example, is cost analysis, financial analyst, purchasing. Those are some of the common functions and titles. And as you can see, this all is also self-explanatory. But these are the kind of titles that you're looking for when you're looking for job hunts. Here's an example of an entry-level position. Now it says, job responsibility, researches, analyzes, and prepare reports on energy cost savings programs and return on investment. You do that kind of work as an entrepreneur. You know about ROI. You write reports. This is why in TEM 400, I make you do that report. So you actually have experience doing it. Education and experience. Have you done business modeling, analytics, quality management? But again, get your pen out and start underlining things and just think about, have I done this? But I know what this skill is. I've just done it in a different way. And that's called equivalence. And you can use that too to get into a position. When we look at the basic qualifications, this is where they get into the soft stuff. Of course, they want people with excellent communication skills and keep confidential information and organizational skills and all that. But what it comes down to is, are you really that kind of person? But when you read this, it tells you a lot about the culture of the company, that they're detail-oriented and they like to keep the track going. Look under the experience. Okay, maybe you don't have 2 to 3 years customer service experience, but if you have any kind of customer service experience, then that's what I mean by it's a gap, and talk to them about that gap of why you're capable of filling in that gap. So, to find opportunities, you can apply online, look at job sites. One thing about job sites is when you look at a bunch of jobs, you start to see patterns, and those patterns start telling you stories. Like, wow, there's a lot of biomedical job offerings. So guess what? Maybe that industry's hot. That's the one maybe you should go focus on. On the other hand, there might be a specific job title like project managers. Wow, they're looking for mid-level managers. Is there a specific place you want to work? For that, you need to know somebody on the inside, and that's where you have to start. You can apply to a job directly, but if you really want to get in somewhere, you need to find an in to help you. And networking, because not all jobs are on the books, and there are jobs they're thinking about. They're side doors, so expand your search. So I'm thinking about culture and position. I need to understand what their needs are and what my needs are. And what are these positions about? If you read enough positions, you get an idea of what problems they're facing, and it gives you insight of what to talk about. So first thing is, positions are about solving problems. That's what they're looking for. The next part is the personality of the company. And what personality is? Well, you know, the personality of Tesla versus a Ford versus a Toyota, different cultures, different ways of approaching it, but they're all car companies. And so what you need to do is find a way to connect into that personality. And finally, what industries are special to them? For example, if you make chips, then all of a sudden memory is special to you, processors are special to you, graphics cards are special to you. And so you get an idea of the landscape of what these people are dealing with, and that gives you insight. The rule of thumb is, should I go find headhunters and go network, or should I rely on job ads? The higher the position, the more likely it's not going to be in a job ad. People don't put CEO job ads in papers. And that's where if you want to find those kind of jobs, you have to go out and network. And, or talk to headhunters. If there's a strong economy, they post a lot more job ads, like right now. I mean, there's ads all over the place. I looked at it and I was actually pretty shocked about how strong it is right now. Network. What do I network? First, I have to look at the landscape. How are decisions made, and who would be ideal to know? Write out a map, write out a table, write out some kind of diagram of, okay, who are the people that I need to know? Where can I find them? Use resources to find them. You have one of the largest alumni databases anywhere, because you went to ASU. I have 4 databases because I attended 4 colleges. I actually have Tom Brady and Troy Aikman's email addresses because Brady went to Michigan and Troy Aikman went to UCLA. And so guess what? When you connect with them, this is how you personalize. And that's that I'm a fellow Sun Devil, and I wanted to ask you some questions. Don't hit them right away with, I want help. Asking questions or getting information is a good way to start, breaking the ice between people. Anytime you can now, you're going to get a lot of rejections. And so this is where actually networking is a full-time job, because you're churning. And what is churn? It's just like when you have customers. I need new people in my network. Some people are going to bail out on my network. Some people are going to be dormant, and some are going to be active. I have to make sure the active people are happy. Can I get the dormant people off the sideline? The people who leave, Can I get them back? I have to think about it. And then I have to find these new people. But here's one thing that will really help you. Fundamentally, people like to help each other. For example, if somebody walks up to you in a parking lot and says, "Hey, do you know where Costco is?" You don't look at them and say, "Pound sand, old man." No, you help people. That's actually what my wife is like. It's really weird. I left her in a Walmart once, and this 90-year-old World War II veteran just walked up to her and started talking about his time in the war. And I asked my wife, "Why is he talking to you?" And she said, "I don't know. He just felt comfortable with me." But when you end conversations, never end it without asking, "Can you suggest somebody that I should be talking to at this point?" People want to be helpful. And this improves your networking. Just randomly talking to people. You just end up talking to the same people over and over again. What use is there in that? No, you want to further. You want to get better contacts, better leads. You're like a salesperson hunting that white whale. Anyway, you have to work your network. And this is why I mean it's a lot of time. Take meetings. If you can meet face to face, all the better. Have conversations. Be active. And you could even propose a job. I had a student, Scott Namira. I think he left school. He was one of my entrepreneurs. Scott was a very funny guy. Scott, just one of the well-tempered people I have ever met. I mean, I could look at Scott straight in the eye and say, "Scott, you're an effing idiot." And Scott will just laugh and say, "That's a good one there, Dr. Cho." You can't help but like him. But what he did is he read about the startup and he realized there were certain things that they were doing wrong. And so he wanted to help improve that startup, but he didn't know how to go about it. So he and I sat down to talk about it. And I told him, "Look, give him a little bit, but don't give him everything. Because if you give him everything, he'll just take it all and you'll get nothing." And he actually got into a conversation with him. And he was so impressed with Scott that he offered him a job, a very handsomely paying job at that. And I don't know if he dropped out of school or if he stuck it out. But that's what being an entrepreneur is about. These entrepreneurial skills you learn in networking, in targeting, in segmentation. This is the time to use it. And follow up. Again, networks die when the limbs and the connections become inactive. And so you need to follow up and talk. Again, a job search of 100 applications. How many different resumes? How many different cover letters? That's right, 100 each. And I'm just going to keep pounding it into your head. But as you could see, look at all these different kinds of jobs that are open. And these are the top picks for me. And director level in a big company, a lecturer, except it's the College of Health Solutions, VP of Product Development for a solar company, engineering and product officer. There's a lot of things going on out there in the world. You just have to find it. Think about your search. Remember, underline keywords. Look at the list. Check off what you think you can do. Integrate your matches into your documents. Prioritize what you're going to do. And if you have gaps in it, be ready to talk about how you're going to fill those gaps. Or if you did something analogous, something similar to it, or something that'll lead up to it. For example, I was once arguing why they should fund my solar business, and I had a new way of depositing films. And so I showed, look, this chemistry exists for solar cells. And this process makes things super uniform. So we just need to bring the two together, and there's our innovation. And that's the nature of innovation, actually, which people don't realize. It's just one thing put together, and people just didn't think of that those two things could go together. I think about digital music, Walkman, iPod. Anyway, it's a lot of work to do and it's a full-time job. But here's where your network can expand very quickly. This guy has 100 people in a network. This guy has 1,000 people in a network. They connect. How big is my network now? 1,100 people. Networks add to themselves. This is why it's BS when they say, well, you two tell two friends who tell two friends. It would take you forever to get to 1 million people. No, it's like you connect to somebody who has 100 contacts in their own network. They tell all their people, and then all their people tell all their people. And this is how you get viral events taking place. Now, one of the myths are, they said, if you're looking for a job, tell everybody you're looking for a job. Don't communicate it that way, because you come across as being desperate. And the first thing people want to do is run away from you. And start it as a genuine conversation. Like, hey, how's it going? He said, oh, I'm working on a lot of stuff right now. Most of my time is spent on a job search. And so you're not asking for a job. They're asking you what's going on. And if they want to be helpful, they'll be helpful. If not, then they don't want, then they're not going to be any help to you anyway. So be careful about that. The thing is, people who are out of work and all, they just have a stigma to them, and it's really horrible. And people in jobs want to stay away from them, and I think there's a psychological thing that they could be you, and so they don't want to be around you. I've seen it, and people don't treat each other very well, and it makes me very sad. It's like, you don't have a job. You as a person hasn't changed. Anyway, when you network, what's your message? Who is it that you want to talk to? How are you going to connect with them? If we, marketing, the reason why marketing works is because of two things. One is called homophily, meaning people if we have something in common, then we can find a way to bond and connect. If we are bonded and connected, then I can influence you. And that's why marketing works. Because if there wasn't commonality around people, that if one person buys something, that someone else will buy it, the marketing would never work. Each and every person, we'd have $7 billion markets to sell into. And so, again, always ask for a referral when you make these contacts. And stay in touch and be appreciative. I had a boss who used to contact me every year to donate to some charity bicycle run. And he said one year, well, I don't call you every year just to get your money. I mean, I'm interested in you, and I'm interested in what you're doing, and it's fun to catch up again. Well, guess what? The moment he stopped riding in that charity, he stopped calling me. And I knew it. I knew he was just calling me for money. What kind of relationship do you want? But that's what comes across. No one's going to hand this to you. People you have worked with are the best source of people to talk to, because they know you the best, they know what you can do, and they're also your supporters. And that wraps up this lecture.